Have I mentioned to you guys lately how much I hate packing? I hate it! As much as I dislike packing, I do love the end result of packing, and that's a new destination. Today I'm off to another new place. I'm off to Pamukkale. That's a place I've been wanting to go to for ages. Hopefully I'll get there by mid to late afternoon today. Let's go. Every single time I leave a hotel for somewhere new, every single time, I spend the entire time between leaving and arriving at my next destination trying to figure out what I might have forgotten. It drives me nuts. In between the moon and you, the angels get a better view. Crumbling difference between wrong and right. Maria came from Nashville with a suitcase in her hand. Said she'd like to meet a boy who looks like Elvis. Hey! Would you catch me if I'm falling? Would you kiss me cause I'm leaving? Would you hold me cause I'm lonely without you? Said I'm alone, done. Round here. So I made it here to Pamukkale after a bit of a long drive where the weather was crazy. It was like pouring rain one minute and then it was chilled out blue skies the next minute. I got here to the hotel. This is the Melrose Viewpoint Hotel in Pamukkale, and when I met the front desk lady, who was just so nice, I could tell that things were tough. I can tell that things are a little bit tough this year, and a lot of that has to do with people being nervous about terrorism activity. And there have been 3 attacks in Turkey in the past couple months, 2 in Ankara and 1 in Istanbul. So I guess people's worries are slightly valid, but you also have to remember that these are just 3 incidents in a huge country over quite a long period of time. And they're not going to happen in places like Pamukkale. They're not going to happen in places like Oludeniz, where I just came from. They're not going to happen in Cappadocia. So don't stop traveling to these places. These local businesses, these restaurant owners, hotel owners, they rely on us. And if we stop traveling to certain destinations because we're scared, it doesn't do any good. It just hurts them. That's it. And we have to try to put some scale to these events as well, really. You're far more likely to have something happen to you in an automotive accident, but you're not going to stop driving. You're not going to stop visiting countries that have cars because that could possibly happen to you. Contrary to popular belief, the goal of terrorism isn't to terrorize. Terrorism is a tool of the weak. Terrorism is a relatively small attack to create awe and outrage and anger and create an exponentially larger media response. It's a tool of the weak and desperate because it's the only way that they can get their cause heard. It's the only way people will listen to their voice because they have no power. They have no strength. So we have to remember that. And it's really important for us as world travelers, as world citizens, to understand the scale of what they are doing. And it is absolutely tiny. And by giving it so much attention, you're making terrorism effective. By giving into it, by stopping traveling, by covering it way more than you should in media, by talking about it more than you should, you're validating the terrorism. So that's all I'm going to say about terrorism in Turkey, because it's not a subject I want to talk about. But it is something that's obviously on people's minds because I'm getting messages constantly asking me if I'm safe. I have people worrying about me, asking if I'm safe. And Turkey's safe, people. I've been so safe the whole time I've been here. The people are so hospitable, so welcoming, so friendly. They're some of the friendliest people in the world. So continue to travel to Turkey. Visit places like Cappadocia, Oludeniz, and here in Pamukkale. Guys, that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to get serious. You know me for the fun-loving explorer. So let's go back to being fun-loving and explore and start with Pamukkale here. So the weather's looking pretty rough, but sometimes the roughest weather makes the coolest photos. So we're gonna go in there and wish for luck. So I've just been at the entrance for like a half an hour waiting because the security guard wouldn't let me pass with my tripod. But I had the phone number of a local tourism official here, and he managed to talk him through. And apparently there's somebody up top who I can talk to, and hopefully they let me use my tripod, because it's a little bit hard to take pictures without a tripod, especially this time of day. And check out that light. Amazing. So I went from being held up coming in with my tripod to meeting with like the director of tourism, and they were incredibly accommodating, as Turkish people tend to be to me. And now I'm in with my tripod. The light's amazing, so hopefully it sticks around and I can find some nice compositions of this place, because it's very cool. So the rock looks like it's really hard and maybe even painful to walk on, but it's like soft and spongy and kind of awesome to walk on. It feels really good, and I'm loving this. So I went from not being allowed in at first to meeting with one of the ministers of tourism, who was extremely accommodating, really helpful, and didn't let me use my tripod here because, you know, it can damage the geology of this place, and I completely understand that and respect that. Anything to protect nature, I'm good with. He did say that tomorrow I'm allowed to use my drone here. I'm allowed to fly Fido here tomorrow at sunrise. Place opens at 8, I believe, in the morning. They're gonna let me in here at 6 to shoot some photography and fly Fido. So some really good things came out of this afternoon, and it's an absolutely beautiful place. It's a little bit hard to photograph because it's just so white. Everything's white, and it's hard to find the contrast in white on white. I talked at the start of this episode about Turkish people being very friendly and very welcoming, and tonight was another perfect example of that. I went from, you know, causing a little bit of a problem, and I did cause a bit of a problem with my tripod, to, you know, taking selfies with a local minister, and I took selfies with like some of the security guards because they thought I was famous, and it was just like a really cool experience. It breaks my heart that tourism is suffering so much here in Turkey. So when we stop traveling to places for reasons that are maybe not unjustified, but maybe a little bit blown out of proportion, it hurts, and it hurts the people here that are such good people in Turkey. So come to Turkey. It's safe, it's beautiful, it's absolutely incredible. I know these past couple episodes have shown how beautiful Turkey is. Guys, I'm calling it a night. I know it's been a bit of a serious episode. We're gonna get back to the fun and away from the serious talk tomorrow here in Pamukkale, and it's gonna be brilliant. We're gonna fly Fido in Pamukkale. How awesome is that? I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. So I'm gonna try to put him up in the air quickly and hope the wind doesn't knock him around.